Well, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of... We've moved from Baker Street, and we live here now. Smoke on the water. Someone was trying to teach their 13-year-old son how to play guitar. Women are now allowed to smoke in public, the court declares. Today, Magistrate Adcox ruled that Adcox... That is going to be the middle name of my firstborn son. It was no longer a crime for a woman to smoke in a public area, in London, at least. He then proceeded to discharge Mary Towson, Edna Custer, and Elsie Watkin, 3 ladies who had been smartly arrested for smoking in Trafalgar Square. Seems irrelevant.
I can see the technical cab very well from here.
Talk about your excellent vantage point. Oh, and we've been drinking.
An open bottle of cheap wine.
And we hadn't even been drinking the nice stuff.
A single glass containing traces of alcohol.
I'd say. This is just... Whose place is this? We just wandered right in. I have a conclusion that I'm going to go share with the... Well, I guess, you know, that was caused by the thing up there, is what I can tell him. Hello, Constable. Constable? Constable. There you are. There you are. Guess what?
Holmes, I was looking for you. I have an idea about the accident.
Never mind. This one is murder.
What?
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 You're a murderer,
You're
eh?
off your head.
Are you sure, Holmes?
Oh, yes. A murder and an accident, because the killer, by electrocuting the cab, created this chaos. And so this multiple crash is now our great chance.
Our great chance? Of what, Holmes?
The culprit could not have planned for this to happen, don't you see? And it is possible that he is still here due to the prompt arrival of the police. Now I see 5 men who could be our murderer. Let us take a look at the map.
5 men who could potentially do all of the murder. I'm going to look at the map, but it's also telling me to use my sneaky vision. Ooh. Okay. Anyways, map of the accident. Suspects found. Oh, I need to go find the suspect. So could have been this guy, sure.
My poor leg.
No, you're innocent. Could have been Watson.
What do you make of this accident, Holmes?
Could have been the constable. Oh, it could be you guys. Could be you. Hello. Hello, I suspect you. Could be a random pedestrian. Not wounded during the accident. Angry and nervous. Distant from the apartment. Well, so, I mean, not super likely, but in all of the commotion, it is potential that, yeah, you're unlikely. It is potential that in all of the commotion, you were able to, you know, traverse your way across the street there and be all sneaky. You also didn't want to talk to me at all. Very close to the apartment. Not wounded during the accident. Could be a random pedestrian. Thank you. Yes, they all could be random pedestrians. Thank you. Anyone in the shadows? If someone had been standing in there, hands down. You know, I'm thinking what we should do, full 24 Jack Bauer style. Did we check you already? Could be running distant from the apartment, right. What we should do is we should radio Chloe, our friend, and close to the apartment. Could deliberately disturb the lifting mechanism. Sprung cart driver was injured during accident. Yeah, I doubt it's you. We should see if anyone in this apartment building of apartments is leasing more than one apartment. You know? Because if the guy that owns this also owns this, then I think he's in there right now. That would be my hypotenuse. And my hypothesis. Ironically, both. Where's the guy that was thrown from the carriage? Could be you. Not wounded during the accident, distant from the apartment, could deliberately smash into the wardrobe's cab driver. And, we don't think it could potentially be this guy with the wounded leg? Oh, no, we do. Very close to the apartment, in an ideal position to watch the square. What? Daily what? What?
My poor leg.
Kind of would have liked to have seen all of that. Where is the apartment? The apartment is, like, right here. Right? Somewhere here. Okay. This man is beneath the window where the electrical device is. Perhaps he had time to activate it before entering the street. This man appears to be a passerby. He's in the middle of the square, trapped by the accident. I mean... yeah, I would say you're a suspect. I think everyone's a suspect. This guy, definitely. This man was found not far from the flats where the electrical device is situated. Perhaps he had chosen the role of workman to watch his victims in the square without raising suspicion. This man was injured during the accident. He is a local workman. He is a victim the same as the others. I mean, potential. This man is near the end of the square. He attempted to leave, perhaps because he did not wish to see the police. He had time to activate the electrical device and run away. He has just arrived. Perhaps he wanted to help the wounded. No, he's a suspect. Can everyone be a suspect? Oh, I can only have 2 suspects. Is that? Is that what you're telling me? Why? That wouldn't let me select the suspect option. Oh, yeah. Okay, hang on. I mean, this man is a driver. This is one of the pumpkins that activated the scaffold. This man is a driver. It is obvious he was occupied during the accident. It would not have been possible for him to activate the electrical device at the time. That is correct. Also, it's obvious that he was occupied. He could not have activated the electrical device. I think that's...
That's it?
yeah. I feel good about that. There's 3 potential people.
Constable, I suspect 3 people here. Take them to Scotland Yard for questioning.
As long as I don't leave empty-handed, all's good and well.
I know that look, Holmes. Have you found something new?
That's right. In order to trap the cab, the killer must have known the precise route it would take. Or even, that could suggest the cab must have set out not far from here, in this very street, perhaps.
Remarkable. Holmes, I'm terribly sorry, but I must go to the hospital now to help tend to the wounded.
I understand, Watson.
But don't forget our earlier discussion. About Kate.
Right. He wants us to come clean. Are we heading to Scotland Yard now? Yeah, we are. We need to go see our best friend, Lestrade. Lestrade? Lestrade. It's Lestrade. Open my deductions. I have no deductions except for someone was electrocuted. It's not really a deduction, though. Electrocution? Both marked with a dog tattoo, probably a gang symbol. One of the men was armed with a Webley revolver. The other had a second tattoo upon his fist, the name of Roscoe.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, we have a slight problem.
Yeah, you got
What
punched.
happened?
One of the suspects, Mr. Reginald Butcher, has escaped. It was after we asked him to put his belongings in the evidence room. I'm sorry.
Well,
How did he escape?
He hit me in the face. Took me by surprise, otherwise I,
Of course. That's all?
Just before he left the yard, he shouted, Sorry, I'll come back later.
Sorry, I'll come back later.
He could have said that without punching me.
Is Inspector Lestrade here?
No, he will be absent for a couple of days. Can we keep this incident between us?
Huh. Well, if it weren't for the sorry I'll be back later, I would say clearly we'd found our dude. Oh, he left his stuff still. Perfect. Perfect. Who's this? Who's this stuff belong to? Dear Mr. This is our escapee. Dear Mr. Butcher, your repeated absence, which is compounded by your delays with existing workload, simply cannot continue. Something grammatically about this is weird. You are responsible for a number of serious errors that your colleagues have found themselves compelled to rectify. We are sorry for this present situation, as you have always been an exemplary employee. We understand the complication of your personal situation, but if you are unable to correct your behavior in the immediate future, we shall be forced to terminate your employment. The Directors, Underground Electric Railways. Oh, this guy works for the railway.
Reginald Butcher had problems with his job.
That's also a little damning.
This pen is an expensive one, but it isn't new.
This seems like a woman's handkerchief.
The initials MB.
Probably his wife or his sister. Mr. Butcher, we have the most excellent news for you. Please arrange to visit the hospital as soon as possible so that we may conclude this matter. P.S. Her condition is stationary. Dr. Matthew Smith, Great Ormond Street Hospital, London. Okay, so he's probably ran off to see his wife.
This letter from yesterday perhaps explains why Butcher was in such a hurry. At any rate, I now have an exact address.
If it's from yesterday, he didn't get there very urgently, did he?
Reginald Butcher is fond of sweets.
As am I. As am I.
Thick leather gloves. They're probably insulating.
It's helpful. It's helpful when you're messing around with electricity. Insulated gloves.
Murad. Quite a popular brand of cigarette. Whiskey. Of poor quality.
Ha! Oh, whiskey is subjective, sir. My life has changed thanks to Pastor Gordon and my faith.
My life has changed thanks to Pastor Gordon and my faith.
Yes, Sherlock, good job. You were able to recite the thing that I just read out for myself. Benjamin, my son, I would be so pleased if you could join me and help lead our next charity banquet, which is due to take place on Sunday after the service. Your goodwill brings such joy, and I know that I may rely upon you. I remember how your life began in sin. Your feeling rejected and alone in the world, and how you turned to the criminal path. But you found strength within you to make that change. You became a good man. Our Lord will have mercy upon you. I shall always be happy to see you in our church, my son. God bless you, Pastor Gordon. So he's a religious guy. Sweet. What do we got? Problems at work, difficult life, rebirth. Benjamin Fowler has changed his world view. He is now a churchgoer. Mr. Fowler had a difficult life. It was impossible for him to survive without turning to crime. But that's not the him anymore. Benjamin Fowler was a bandit when he was young, but he has since changed his ways. Or has he? We got some string.
Electrical wires.
Or electrical wires. They all seem pretty red-handed here. Dear Mr. Garrett, we are obliged to inform you that despite your expropriation, you are still in debt to a considerable sum of money. We would request that you contact our payment service as soon as possible. Otherwise, we shall be obliged to involve the police in this unfortunate matter. Mr. Stewart, Financial Director of the Bank of England. And 1848. This is an old book.
A book. Karl Heinzen's 1848 Der Mord, with a bookmark.
Well, let's open that up and see what he got.
This terrible passage is apparently appreciated by Garrett.
If you have to blow up half the continent to create the bloodbath in order to destroy the barbarians, party, you can be deemed to possess neither scruples nor conscience. Anyone who would not happily sacrifice his own life for the honor of exterminating 1 million barbarians is not a true Republican. I agree. Such clear-sightedness. Huh. Well, that doesn't look good either for you. You're a bit of an anarchist. And you're in debt. I'm not sure why those are connected. Anarchists oppose the state, capitalism, the market relations, but Thomas Garrett is in debt to the bank. He's not a very good anarchist. All right. Let's go have a chit-chat with them all. Well, with 2 out of the 3. Because the other one had to be RB. Is there other bodies down here? Nope. What is this? Nothing? Let the bodies hit the floor. Okay. Let's go back. Holmes, you are drunk.
Locked.
Locked his office when he went away. What a dill hole. Who are you?
Please, escort this suspect for interrogation.
I think this is Mr. Fowler, because he's wearing a crucifix.
Good day to you. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I am assisting the police with their investigation.
I'm Benjamin Fowler, and I was arrested by mistake. I swear it.
You have not been arrested, Mr. Fowler. You are here as a witness.
Oh, you're keeping him in a cell.
But I saw nothing. I swear. Let me go.
He's kind of been arrested. He's not convicted. You used to be a member of a gang, but maybe you no longer want to. Religious. Someone told me in the comments, we've been making this much harder on ourselves than we need to. Calloused hands, manual worker. You can just tell by the outline here what they want you to, improvised bandage, injured leg. But religious, I could clearly read by the length that it was supposed to be religious, not likes trinkets. See? Smoker. He is ill. No, he's definitely a smoker. So that's a little bit of a shortcoming of the game. I kind of wish part of me wishes I knew that sooner, and then the other part of me is like, oh, well, that defeats the fun of all of this. But whatever. Benjamin Fowler, a man in his 40s, is a manual worker. He is involved with the reconstruction work of the statue in the square, which explains his presence at the scene of the accident and his resulting leg injury. Mr. Fowler has a dog tattoo, a gang member's mark, which he attempts to hide. Yellow nails identify him as a heavy smoker. He is a religious man. So he's not cleared, but he does have a reason for being there.
Could you tell me what you were doing at the scene of the accident?
I was working on the square's statue. I work for the council. I swear it.
Yeah. Relax.
Do you ever work with electricity?
Yes, sometimes. I repair electric lampposts, but I'm not a specialist. I swear it. It's new, isn't it? And complex and dangerous.
I understand.
Mr. Holmes, I know you're a great detective and you understand me, so please let me go. I know nothing. I swear.
Yes, you swear it. I know.
Yeah, I was getting a little, yeah.
Mr. Fowler, does the name Rasco ring any bells with you?
First time I ever heard it. I swear.
I disagree.
But your tattoo resembles his. You are in his gang, are you not?
No. It was a long time ago. I already forgot. I swear it. I just picked a few pockets for him when I was a young fella. But I ain't proud of what I did. All my family, my parents, my brothers, dogs and cats all died when I was a lad. I wouldn't have survived otherwise.
So, you do have a reason to be there, but you are a liar. Benjamin Fowler sometimes repairs electrical lampposts. And it was an electrocution. Benjamin Fowler sometimes works with electricity, but he's not a specialist, and it is doubtful he would know how to create such a deadly trap. Benjamin Fowler has sufficient knowledge to repair electrical lampposts, which could have enabled him to create a deadly trap for the cab. I'm going to take you for your word for now, even though you're a liar. Because I'm just a bad judge of character. And it is your turn, Mr. Garrett.
Please, escort this suspect for interrogation.
Oh,
Good day
gross.
to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes.
Thomas Garrett. Why am I here?
You are a witness to murder.
Of course. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that the police jailed an innocent man in order to close a case.
No one has been charged yet.
Yet.
He's got the same sticky black licorice stuff on his arm that the dead guy in the back of the carriage had. Pale face. He is ill. Also explains all that coughing. We should probably put a face mask on this guy. A pendant. He is... Oh, yeah, right. That is the anarchy symbol. Worn clothes. He's poor. Like most anarchists. Silicosis? Oh, my goodness. You should probably get that looked at. That looks awful. Thomas Garrett is an aggressive person who wears the symbol of an anarchist. He dislikes the police, and most probably all authority. It is obvious that he is poor, as his clothes are old and worn. Mr. Garrett exhibits black sputum throughout his coughing, which is a symbol of silicosis. Garrett is ill. A specific burn upon his finger reveals that he must work with electricity.
Did you perhaps see anything in particular during or after this disaster?
Yes. I saw part of your bourgeoisie burn up and explode. It was spectacular.
Why did you remain in the square? Why not seek shelter?
Like the rest of the sheep, there were some wounded comrades, workers. I wanted to help them.
Do you work with electricity?
Do you have any electrical knowledge?
How'd you know about that? You a mind reader?
No, you have
There are
burns.
electrical wires amongst your belongings.
Clever. Yes. I teach electrics to my comrades, since I'm currently without paid work. I'm self-taught, so we're not as dumb as you might think. And I don't want to work for bosses anyway.
Huh. Well, it seems odd that you didn't try to lie to me or cover up your electrical work if you did, in fact, just use electricity to try to kill someone.
You have a severe cough. Are you suffering?
It's only a cold.
You got the black sputum. I don't think so.
Why not be honest with me? You are spitting up black fluid.
Ah, well observed. Yes, I have enough coal dust in my lungs to fuel an entire London district.
You were a miner then?
Since the age of 13, yes. At the Newcastle mines. 15 years of hell. Those were bloody times. But now it's over. I don't want to die in those holes like my father and my brothers did, in order to line the pockets of the rich.
Fair enough. Okay, so, Mr. Garrett's side job and the electricity. The electrical trap for the technical cab was arranged by a professional. Thomas Garrett would not have sufficient knowledge. I think he would. He teaches electricity. He would have sufficient knowledge to make a trap. I'm not saying it was him, but, you know. Butcher has trouble at work. We haven't talked to him yet. Fowler, Garrett. Okay. I think that's about all we can do. So, is there anything for us to go examine in the house at the Baker Street? No, but we can go to the hospital. Try to track down Mr. Butcher. Reginald Butcher. Who just up and... That's ballsy. I don't know. I'm thinking if you got this letter yesterday and have only just now gone to go see your wife, but it was so urgent that you had to punch a cop out and escape custody, even though apparently none of these men have been arrested, although I'm not buying that. This is quaint.
I'm apparently in the children's ward.
Haha, is that where you want to be?
I'm apparently in the children's ward.
Yes, all right. Early onset Alzheimer's. Here we go. Meryl Butcher. That explains the MB. She's 12. Oh, it's his daughter. Heart murmur. Lungs. Something. Lungs not healthy. On some drugs. Been here for a week anyways.
Meryl Butcher.
That's... She's on like a ventilator. We're just looking through all their stuff.
Mr. Butcher's wife.
Oh, and she's passed away. So the daughter's all he has. I hope it's not this guy. I feel really bad for him now. Mr. Butcher, I can confirm that we are willing to admit your daughter into the care of our hospital. You will be responsible for the travel expenditure, naturally taking all appropriate precautions due to the delicate state of your daughter. Additionally, you must attend to any accommodation costs and all medical attention. The final bill cannot be summarized within this letter. It will depend, of course, upon your daughter's condition, but I must warn you that the sum may be considerable. Oh, dear.
Admission file at Karolinska University Hospital in Stockholm.
All right. I'm like, this is really touching. Sick kids, man.
Mr. Reginald Butcher, I've come from Scotland Yard. Might we talk?
All right, but not too loudly. She's finally asleep.
Is she your daughter?
My pretty little Meryl. She's very ill. Now look, I'm sorry I ran, but I had to see Dr. Blowberry today and the policeman wouldn't listen.
Don't worry, I understand now.
Yeah, that's... No worries. I mean, you're an angry-looking fella. You work for the railway, which we knew, and you're in trouble at work. Was once prosperous, second-hand clothes. A daughter's gift. He likes decorative items. No, he's definitely a good dad. Or maybe he's not. I mean, maybe he's a crap dad, but like he loves his little girl. That wedding ring is on the wrong hand. Can we talk about that for a second? Reginald Butcher, a married man, holds the position of railway worker. He is depressed due to the illness of his daughter, of whom he is extremely fond. His shoes are shining. They have no doubt been recently cleaned. His expensive waistcoat, now in a shabby condition, reveals that he was previously a prosperous man. Mr. Butcher loves his daughter and is not ashamed to wear a child's bracelet to display his affection.
Can she be cured?
It'll take a long time, but I'm confident that we'll win this fight. I can't bear to think otherwise.
Yes, it's probably just a question of money.
What are you talking about? It's a question of willpower, and my daughter will win.
People caused the accident. Nope.
I do hope so. Although the treatment at the Karolinska University Hospital is very expensive.
Yeah, it's our only hope. Thanks to the good Dr. Blowberry, she finally has a bed. We're going out next week. It's our last chance. Do you have children?
Yes, I have a daughter too.
We'd sacrifice our lives for our children, would we not?
Yes. Of course, yes. What do you do for a living, Mr. Butcher?
I work at the office of the Underground Electric Railways Company.
Then you must be familiar with electrical devices.
I am indeed. Why do you ask?
It is of no consequence, but tell me, what are the reasons behind the problems you are experiencing at work?
Problems? What do you mean?
Well, there's a letter from your job.
You have already received a written warning.
Yes. I'm often late to work. My boss doesn't understand my situation. It's difficult since my daughter became ill.
I see. Coincidentally, we found one of your company's cabs in the square where the accident occurred.
Really? Why was it there?
I have no idea. Do you?
No. But a week ago we had a technical cab stolen, along with its tools. Do you think that could be the one?
It's possible.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's this guy at all, and I really hope it's not. I mean... Thomas Garrett owes a large sum of money. Nope. Seriously ill daughter and problems at work. Sounds like the employer is just kind of super ununderstanding. Reginald Butcher has problems at work due to the time off he has taken to visit his seriously ill daughter. Which could make a man desperate. Reginald Butcher works for the Underground Electric Railways Company and could therefore know the layouts of London's sewers. Reginald Butcher knows how to work with electricity because of his job, but that doesn't mean that he would be capable of creating a deadly trap. He works in the offices. For now, I'm going to say no, because he works in the offices. Which seems to make it unlikely.
Shh. Meryl.
Sorry. So very sorry.
A young woman lost her life.
Okay, now I've... Okay. Now what? Resolve the murder, examine the belongings of the victims and the suspects. Perhaps it was not too far from the street. Okay, let's head back down to the accident area and see what we can see. I really hope Reginald Butcher is just a good dad. I feel like if he is guilty of this, I'm gonna have a really hard time convicting him. I'm gonna kind of just want to let him go, depending on like what his reasoning was. What a good guy. I think. Okay, so the electrical kid is coming from where? From this place. Potentially. No?
There was a collision here. Mud. Oof, smells bad.
Barrel and bucket shop.
Fresh paint, but from something else.
Yeah,
Technical cab collided and stopped here.
Because they were drunk.
The lock was forced.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please do all three. Honestly, it means so much. Right, Dave? See, Dave agrees. And until next time, goodbye.